Hey everyone, this is Kaisif and welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at automatic nether wood farms to get these warped stems. So yeah, we've got three designs here of varying level of efficiency and automaticness, but yeah, let's get down to it. So each of them has got a common mechanism at the base, so let's find out what that is. So how do you get nether woods? You bone meal these warped fungi and you get a tree which looks like that. Now, how do you get the warped fungi? It's pretty simple. You just bone meal some warped nilium. Okay, I just got very lucky there. But you can also get some of these sprouts and these root type blocks. So yeah, but when you bone meal it, you can see that the block gets converted to netherrack. So the question is, how do you get the warped block? Simply, you just bone meal a netherrack next to it. So as you can see, there's a lot of bone mealing involved, so we can automate this pretty easily. So we just have a dispenser, two dispensers in fact, one of them to bone meal the netherrack so that you can get the warped stuff, and then as you can see, nothing happens if there's nothing on top. And obviously if you par the lower thing again, it bone meals the block. Okay, didn't work, and this time you get a sprout. If there's a sprout or a root, nothing really happens, but then we've got to destroy it before we try to bone meal it again. So yeah, that's how we're going to try and automate this thing. Okay, so we're going to have a piston there to push it up every time we're done, and then we'll have an observer here. The observer is what's going to be parting it. Since it's parting the dispenser, it can part both of them. And we're going to be using an observer clock, which is why we've got the piston there, and we're going to have a pulse extender. Now the reason for the pulse extender I'll explain later, or I can do it right now. We basically want the clock to run for some time before the piston is extended, breaking the block. So now you can see if I press the lever every single time the warped block, the block is pushed up, we want it to restart the clock. So for that we're going to have a repeater over here on a few ticks of delay running into a block. So as you can see, it loops back every time the pulse extender runs out of steam. Next up, we're going to have a piston here to turn off the clock by removing access for the parting. Now this system is present in all of these. It's just wired up slightly differently, and basically once you've got, so that's where you want the layer to be. You don't want it below that because water is going to flow into the redstone otherwise. As you can see, this is not very smart as the redstone comes in the way. Except these trees are exactly 5 blocks wide, so you can easily drop a piece of TNT in the middle, which is what is happening here. So if we go down here, you can see the pulse extender and the sort of feedback loop with the piston interrupting it. The same system. Only thing is there's a slight bit of different wiring over here because it wasn't getting hard otherwise. And we've also got an extension from these from the same sources using some repeaters so that we don't have to construct another one for the other tree. Next up, we've got this huge torch tower which goes up into this dispenser, and we've got a piston down below. We've got these walls which perfectly align the TNT to drop right down the middle to stop the TNT from falling down, and then another one to let the TNT fall down. We've got one that activates the redstone immediately and one that activates it after a certain delay. So if I can just flick this button and step back, you can see the redstone extends and then retracts, dropping the TNT down below. So once again, let's have a look at this. You can see it's extends, retracts, and drops the TNT below. And if you wanted the TNT to drop slightly higher, you can increase the delay marginally, and that goes up. Another tick of delay, and it goes up even higher. And kaboom! All of them get collected by this hopper line in the middle. Obviously one slightly larger to collect everything, and everything goes down to the middle. We've also got some hoppers around the nether rack blocks so that it collects the roots and the other kinds of fungi that we get. Okay, yeah, so that's how this thing works. But obviously if you want to increase the efficiency per TNT, we just increase the number of trees. So here we've got 4 of these modules. The pulse extender this time is placed differently. We've got the observer clock over there, and we've got the lever over here, which instead of discontinuing power by interrupting the block, it just breaks the redstone, as you can see over here. So once again, we've got the clock going. We see all the trees are grown up here. So observer, once again we've got a bit of collection, but here it's interesting because of the width between the two trees. You can see there's only a 2-block gap. That's because the leaf blocks actually overlap on the two sides but not in the middle, so that the TNT block can fall down. And once again we've got the exact same system for parting this. On this occasion, I forgot to reset the timing, something you've really not got to do. Yeah, this blows up at the bottom. It and it just funnels in. The important thing here is it's probably smarter to not use glass to for the collection system, because glass explodes. Okay, so now the next system is actually slightly more automated. Actually, it's fully automated. It runs on a clock. First grows up all the trees and then explodes it using this hopper clock here. We've got 40 items of clay. We've got the redstone which locks the farm, and we've also got this tiny output which provides a small pulse to send off one piece of TNT, and that actually goes up into the second one. So we've got a 2-tick pulse, so that pulse length is correct, and this is off another piece of TNT on its own. So you can see that the clock has been set off, and we can actually just stand over here and wait for the clock to reset. We should be coming on it anytime now. You can see there's one pulse here, TNT drops, and we've got the second pulse which has dropped the TNT slightly higher. So as you can see, we're getting a few pieces of glass breaking. The glass is just so that you guys can see the redstone below. Yeah, this is a bit of a problem because of glass. You prefer to use obsidian. I'll be making a fully fledged video on how to make this in the future, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, every once in a while you do have blocks that get stuck. It's a bit unfortunate, but it's not really a lot, just a couple of blocks every once in a while. And yeah, this is capable of producing almost 2000 warp stems per hour. This is from just a 15-minute AFK session. So yeah, that's the farm, that's the design. It's pretty cool, I like it. And yeah, stay tuned for the tutorial, as I said. So enjoy some growing upping.